What's good with your fam? Welcome to Big Faces Worldwide, where we talking nothing but this boxing, man. Hey, man, first off, I want to welcome everybody to the channel. And like I always say, man, if you're new here, I want you to be here. So think about hitting that subscribe button as we stay knee deep into this boxing conversation, man. All right, give me 1 second. Um, Let me make sure the stream is everything is copacetic on this stream as far as my settings and everything. Happy New Year to you, fam. I forgot to tell y'all Happy New Year. This is my first appearance in 2020. Hope everybody had a safe and blessed New Year's. Let me see. Okay, yeah, there we go. We good to go. We are good to go, man. We got a lot to talk about, man. A lot to talk about. 2019 was a big year in the sport of boxing, man. There was a lot of good fights. It started off slow, but you know what? It turned out to be a very, very good year in boxing, man. Hey, Ashley, what's up with you, baby? What's going on with you? How you like that ATL living? See my cousin in the chat, man. She just recently moved down to ATL, doing her thing. Love you too, baby. Um, but yeah, man, we had a big year in the sport of boxing in 2019, man, and I'm looking for an even bigger year in 2020. Um, I'm sure you all read the headlines by now. We're going to talk about Mikey Garcia. Mikey Garcia is making his return to the ring. But before I get into that, man, I want to talk a little bit about some boxing headlines, some things that's trending, some boxing news that's trending, man. And the first thing I want to talk about is Yorkis Gamboa. This dude right here. Um, he just fought Tank Davis last week, man, down in the ATL. He lost every round, ended up getting knocked out in the 12th round, got dropped 3 times, hurt multiple times, and, something was going on with his leg, with his foot or with his shoe or something. He said it was a ruptured Achilles, but there's no way it could have been a ruptured Achilles, man. If it was a ruptured Achilles, he would not be able to stand on that thing, much less fight on it. You know what I'm saying? But Yorkis Gamboa let it be known that he's going to avoid surgery and rehab on his own. They say the rehab can take up to 3 to 4 months, man. So that tells you right there that it was not an ruptured Achilles, like everybody was saying, man. I told you it wasn't a ruptured Achilles, man. You know what I'm saying? I've been playing sports all my life, been around, people who play sports, I tore my Achilles before, and I know the pain is unbearable, and there's no way that he would be able to, you know, fight on it. He wouldn't even be able to stand on it. You know what I'm saying? So this dude talking about he gonna rehab it himself, which is fugazi, man. The boy wanted to quit in round two. We heard him. We heard him. Everybody heard him. He came out and after the fight, talking about he's a warrior. He told his team that he wanted to continue. All that bullshit right there, man. You wanted to quit. Everybody's seen it on national TV, man. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Tank too, man. He brought in just under 600,000 viewers for that show, man, which is great. He brought in over 14,000 in the arena. So Tank's doing this thing, man. Tank is definitely, becoming that star that we constantly hear Leonard Ellerby talking about. We constantly hear Floyd Mayweather talk about. You know what I'm saying? He's doing his thing, you know, and I'm happy for him, man. But Gamboa, he just need to stop, man. You know what I'm saying? I knew damn well it wasn't no ruptured Achilles. You know what I'm saying? The second thing I want to talk about is Anthony Joshua, man. Anthony Joshua, he has come out in the media, and he's starting to say a whole lot of things about Deontay Wilder, man. He talked about how he unified titles at 20 fights and how Wilder is 40 plus fights and ain't unified. And he want to know why. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to tell you why, man, because you didn't give him the opportunity. You know what I'm saying? You did not give him the opportunity to fight you when the stove was hot, when the pot was hot, and everything was on everybody's mind, everybody's tip of everybody's tongue. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to step up and fight, man. You know what I'm saying? Manny Mota, what's up with you, fam? Happy New Year's to you, man. I appreciate you sliding through, man. I appreciate your support as always, fam. Hope you had a safe New Year's. You know what I'm saying? Me, myself, I ain't do too much, man. Just enjoyed my family, man. And I brought it in that way. You know what I'm saying? But Anthony Joshua, man, I like Anthony Joshua. You know what I'm saying? I always did like Anthony Joshua. But I don't think he can beat Deontay Wilder. But ever since he fought Klitschko, after that Klitschko fight, man, he showed a lot of heart and he showed a lot of determination, overcoming adversity, being dropped in that fifth round and coming back to drop Klitschko several times and end up stopping him. At such an early point in his career, man, I became a fan of his, man. You know what I'm saying? And AJ, he seemed to get his confidence back because I never heard him talk about Wilder this much. You know what I'm saying? He's talking about, how he think he'll knock Wilder out in 6 rounds and he wouldn't fight Wilder like he fought Andy Ruiz. You know what I'm saying? He said he would have to press Wilder, press him, step to him, bring the violence to him and try to get the knockout like that. You know what I'm saying? Which I agree, that's the strategy, one of the strategies he might, have to take. You know what I'm saying? Because, if he try to wait around, man, Wilder is just going to be patient until he lands that Alabama slammer on his ass, man. But AJ, he boxed a beautiful fight, you know what I'm saying, when he fought Andy Ruiz, fat ass Pillsbury Doughboy Andy Ruiz. I like Andy Ruiz, but I just had to call him that, man, because he, he embarrassed himself. He embarrassed all his fans. Excuse me, everybody that was rooting for him, man, he just let him down. You know what I'm saying? And then, after the fight to come up with all these excuses. When AJ fought him and lost, AJ had no excuses. AJ took his hat off to him, congratulated him. You know what I'm saying? AJ could have latched on to the many excuses that people were laying out for him. He had a panic attack. He was ill. He had a concussion, and all this type of talk and all these excuses that AJ could have latched on to, but he didn't. He came out and said Andy Ruiz was the better man. He got me tonight. You know what I'm saying? But Andy Ruiz, he wasn't big enough to do that. You know what I'm saying? He came in talking about he wasn't training and, he was doing too much partying and eating. And, well, obviously he was doing too much eating. He came in, 13 or 16 pounds heavier than he was the first fight? You know what I'm saying? But, you don't make excuses like that, man. You knew exactly what was at stake, man. You had 6 months to prepare. I don't want to hear no excuses. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to hear it. You know what I mean? And he wants to climb his way back up, into title contention, man. I don't want to see him no time soon. You know what I'm saying? Manny Robles will call him to come to the gym. His whole team at the gym waiting on his fat ass. You know what I'm saying? I hate to call him that, but that's what he is. You know what I'm saying? Waiting on him. Call him up. Where you at? Where you at? Andy, where you at? He talk about, I'm at home running on the treadmill today. So his team at the gym looking all crazy. They got to pack up everything and roll because he telling them he going to run on the treadmill at home. Meanwhile, he at restaurants with his homies, eating pizza with cheese and drinking pop and eating wings and rice and all that type of shit right there, man. Andy Ruiz, man, I hope he makes a comeback because I like him. I like his heart. I like his aggressive nature. You know what I'm saying? He's a good fighter. You know what I mean? He just got to be more disciplined. And that was one of the things that Top Rank talked about him. You know what I mean? Top Rank was disgusted because they let him go, rather, because they said he wasn't disciplined. In between fights, he would blow up in weight. He didn't want to train properly. And, that's one of the reasons why he was on the shelf so long, because he was not dedicated to the sport, man. And, being just with that newfound fame that he caught after he defeated Anthony Joshua, man, that was a lot to take on. You know what I'm saying? It was a lot to take on. So I halfway don't blame him, man, because, his life changed overnight. You know what I'm saying? His life changed overnight. And, he didn't have, the support system to keep him in check. You know what I'm saying? He had all these yes men around him who, pretty much catered to him. You know what I mean? Brought the boxes of pizza to him, brought the chicken wings and the cases of pop and all that shit to him, man. So um, we'll see, man. But Anthony Joshua, he really, really claims to really want to fight Deontay Wilder. He really seems like he want to unify the heavyweight division. Will we get an undisputed champion in 2020? I don't know, man. I don't know. I know Deontay Wilder is scheduled to fight Tyson Fury February 22nd. And from what I'm hearing, there's a rematch clause after that. So if Wilder somehow would lose to Fury, which I don't think will happen, but if he somehow lose to Tyson Fury, he's the champion. He automatically got a rematch clause. But from what I'm understanding, if Fury loses, he also got a rematch clause in place also. So that may be Wilder has only been fighting twice a year. You know what I'm saying? Those guys at PBC, they really only fight twice a year. Although my guy, Javante Tank Davis, he fought 3 times last year. But, if it does happen, AJ versus Wilder, it'll be the end of 2020. You know what I mean? So hopefully, we can get it done, man. Hopefully AJ can stay champion. Hopefully Wilder can stay champion, and we can get that fight that everybody's been talking about for the last couple years sometime in 2020, man. But another big thing that has been on everybody's mind that everybody's been talking about. I'm sure we all seen it. TMZ, they have released footage, video, and police cam video and pictures of Earl Spence, man. Earl Spence Jr., we all know, was in a horrific car accident after his win over Showtime Sean Porter, man. Earl Spence, Red Glove Militant, what's up with you, fam? He says, what's up, Big Will? Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you, man. I got my man Clabo, little Duke boy in the house. Happy New Year, fam. Hey, listen, man. I want y'all to go to Amazon right now and purchase Little Duke Boy by my homie Clabo 100. It's a real life story, man. Everybody from all walks of life will enjoy it. Go to Amazon and cop it, man. Little Duke Boy, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, Earl Spence, man, they're saying that they found a gun at the scene. I watched the video earlier on TMZ, from the cops, what's it, body cam. They said it was a very expensive gun. I think it was $1,000 gun or something, man. It was on the ground, I guess, by, the car flipping, if it was his, you know what I'm saying? Because there's, it seems like it's his. We think it's his, but, we don't know 100% if it was Earl Spence's, man. It was not in the car, it was not on his person, but it was laying in the street. Police picked that up. I do believe Texas is one of it is the biggest states for the right to bear arms, man. Texas is real big on allowing its residents to bear arms, you know what I mean? So it ain't no big thing for Earl Spence to be carrying a gun, he's not a felon, he's not a criminal, he is a high profile guy, you know what I'm saying? And if I was him, I would be carrying a gun too. You know what I mean? You got to protect yourself, man. He will be a target for those thirsty guys, you know what I'm saying? Or anybody who sees him, anybody who's hungry, starving, and just want to come up, Earl Spence is food to them. So he got to keep that thing on his hip, man. Come on, Clabo. You already know what it is, fam. Nothing but love, fam. Earl Spence got to protect himself, man. So he had that thing on his hip, ready to go. You know what I'm saying? I don't condone him drinking and driving, but I do understand him having that thing, if in fact it was his, man. And I think the media just blowing it out of proportion. I'm sure, 60, 70% of those that's reporting on the news, trying to make a negative situation out of it. I'm sure they got arms in their house, or they carry arms on their person, man. You know what I'm saying? The United States is, big on arms, you know what I mean? Illegal or legal. Everybody got a gun. Everybody wants a gun because there's so much crime so much crime in the States, man. You know what I'm saying? It's like you got to have a gun, especially in your house to protect your house. You know, people will kick your door in, man, do a kick door and come up in there, man, and, you know, try to take what's yours, man. So you got to protect yourself. Earl Spence, you know, being a multimillionaire out and about, he's going to have a gun. He's going to do his thing, you know, and keep that thing on him, man. So, you know, all these dudes who talking about Spence in a negative light, acting like he's a criminal. There's nothing against the law in Texas where, you know, Earl Spence done. He did nothing. He did not break any laws, man. The only law he broke was speeding, drinking and driving and speeding, man. But he's allowed to have a gun on him, and these guys are just making you know, a big thing out of nothing, man. But I don't know if he was charged for with any criminal charges related to this gun. We'll just have to see, you know, what comes of it, man. But you know, it's not a big as a deal as these people are making it out. You know what I mean? But you know what I really want to talk about is the return of Mikey Garcia. Now, the last time we seen Mikey Garcia was back in March. So when he returns to the ring on February 29th against Jessie Vargas, it'll be almost a year, just about a year that he's been out the ring. You know, the longest layoff since he's been back from that 2.5 year layoff that he had before he came back, and he fought what 4 or 5 times after that. Um, he'll be going up against former welterweight champion Jessie Vargas. Now, the last I heard, Jessie Vargas was supposed to be campaigning at 154. I know he was desperately trying to get a fight with Kell Brook at 154. He was trying to get a fight with Jaime Munguia at 154, but all those fell through. I even heard that he was willing to go up to 160 to fight Munguia. But for Mikey Garcia, he's coming back down to 147. I don't even know if he officially had a fight at 154. You know what I mean? He act like, you know, he said, I read something that he said that he's making a bigger sacrifice than Mikey by him coming back down to 147. I don't think he had a fight at 154, so I don't understand what he's saying. You know what I mean? They do have a common opponent in Adrian Broner. Adrian Broner fought Jessie Vargas to a draw. It was a life or death situation. Very good fight where Jessie Vargas controlled the first half of the fight, but Adrian Broner came back, got his shit off in the second half, man, and made it a very, very interesting fight, man. That was a real good fight. I think that was in 2018, you know, February of 2018, I believe. It was a good fight, you know, life or death. But Mikey Garcia, when he fought Adrian Broner, he dominated Adrian Broner. I mean, he dominated Adrian Broner. Adrian Broner was fighting scared, you know. He was fighting scared. Seemed like he didn't want to, you know, get touched up by Mikey. I mean, he had, you know, a few standout moments in a couple of those late rounds where, you know, he got some shots off. He went to the body of Mikey and got some shots off. But other than that, Mikey Garcia dominated Adrian Broner, and Jessie Vargas had a life or death fight with Adrian Broner. I know they say styles make fights, and you're 100% correct. Styles do make fights, you know what I mean? Just because Mikey dominated Broner and Vargas had a draw with Broner, that doesn't necessarily mean Mikey will dominate Jessie Vargas. But my humble opinion, man, before taking the L to Earl Spence, you know what I'm saying, before he decided that he wanted to, you know, try to be great. And that's what he tried to do, man. You know, fighting the boogeyman of the welterweight division, man. Earl Spence at the time, well, still is. Earl Spence, nobody wanted to fight Earl Spence. None of the other welterweights wanted to fight him. Sean Porter didn't want to fight him at the time. Danny Garcia didn't want to fight him. Keith Thurman definitely didn't want to fight him. None of the other top welterweights wanted to fight Earl Spence at the time. So it took Mikey Garcia, who fought at 140 twice, and before that he was at 130, 135, you know what I mean? Started his career off 126. Little Mikey Garcia, he pursued Earl Spence Jr. Man, he wanted to try to be great, to destined to be great, and he based his campaign on I see something. That's what he kept saying. He kept saying, I see something in Spence. Everybody was like, what you see, Mikey? What you see, Mikey? I ain't going to tell y'all. I'm going to show y'all in the ring. I see something. So everybody wanted to know, what does Mikey see? He got to see something, man. He must see something to be jumping up in weight, calling out Earl Spence. Don't nobody want to fuck with Earl Spence. But Mikey do, so he got to see something. He's confident. You know what I mean? Turns out, man, Earl Spence came out, man, and put on a masterful boxing clinic on Mikey Garcia and left people wondering after the fight, what the hell was it that Mikey Garcia seen? I still don't know, what he seen. But I tell you one thing, Mikey Garcia showed a lot of heart in that fight. He showed a lot of heart, first of all, by taking the fight, by pursuing the fight, but then second of all, by his performance in the ring. His brother, his dad, they was in the corner ready to stop the fight. They wanted to stop the fight. Mikey told them, oh, no, we ain't stopping this joint. I'm going to continue. You know what I'm saying? I'm okay. I'm all right. I'm going to continue. And he finished the fight on his feet, and, he got to get some respect for that, man, where he could have did like, the other guys in the past who's like, yeah, I'm taking a beating. There's no way I'm going to win this fight. I'm too much down on the cards. I'm not going to knock this guy out. Yeah, go ahead. Throw in the towel. Nah, Mikey Garcia said, I'm going to end this fight with some dignity. I'm going to end this fight with some respect, and he did, you know what I'm saying? So, I'm looking forward to seeing Mikey Garcia come back, you know what I mean? Before the Earl Spence fight, everybody who's anybody in the sport of boxing had Mikey Garcia in their top 5 pound for pound. Mikey Garcia is a exceptional boxer, man. He has a great jab, really good power. His boxing IQ, that's all everybody was talking about, his boxing IQ, his ring IQ, his ring generalship. Mikey Garcia is a student of the game, man. He came up in the gym with his brothers, his father, you know what I'm saying? He didn't really want to box, but he was in there every day and he found out he was good at it, you know what I'm saying? So he decided to make a career out of it, and in my opinion, he's one of the best fighters in the world. Mikey Garcia is the real deal. No matter what you think about him, whether you like him or love him, you gotta respect his fight game. He can get busy with them knuckles, man. He could throw them knuckles. He could throw them hands. You know what I'm saying? It's proven. He got 1 L on his record, and that's to the boogeyman, Earl Spence Jr., man. I'm looking forward to Mikey Garcia coming back. He's confident. He got that swagger, and I believe he can whoop Jessie. I believe he can whoop Jessie Vargas. Jessie Vargas, he's a solid competitor. He always been solid, but in my opinion, what's held Jessie back from being a. We back. All right, we back. I don't know what mid to later rounds. It seems like he get a little bit disinterested. It seems like he run out of gas a little bit, and he's just content with finishing a fight. And you're not going to win a fight against Mikey Garcia just being content with finishing the fight, because Mikey Garcia want to knock your ass out. Mikey Garcia want to look his best. He want to prove that he's one of the best fighters in the world, man. So if Jessie Vargas go in there trying to act like he, just content with finishing the fight, I think Mikey, we may end up seeing Jessie Vargas stop for the first time. You know what I'm saying? If anybody can do it, I think Mikey Garcia can. Adrian Broner had him hurt in their fight, late in that fight. I think Mikey Garcia, his punch placement is a little bit more precise than Broner, a little bit more accurate. I think he punches a little bit harder than Broner. I think Mikey Garcia can catch Vargas late in this matchup and get him out of there. Now, the early rounds, I think, will be a very, very good explosive matchup, man. We're very exciting for the fans. because Jessie Vargas going to come forward. Mikey Garcia is going to, box off the back foot a little bit early on, but then he's going to come on. You know what I'm saying? He's going to come on like a real violent motherfucker, man. Mikey Garcia is the real deal. I enjoy watching him. And that fight will be February 29th down in Frisco, Texas, at the Dallas, one of the Cowboys facilities. I'm looking to go to that event and cover it as media. I think it's going to be a good fight, man. I hope they stack that card. The zone has been really good at putting fight cards together, man. They have had a real big successful 2019, and they seem to be getting more and more subscribers, more and more shine as the time go on. You know what I mean? They're getting these bigger fighters. Like I said, they just signed Mikey Garcia. Eddie Hearn been trying to get Mikey Garcia for the longest. Before the zone even launched in the U.S., Eddie Hearn was trying to persuade Mikey Garcia to come over there. You know what I mean? But we'll see, man. We will see. I know that Eddie Hearn talked about offering Jamal Charlo $7 million to come over and fight Demetrius Andrade in a unification bout. He said it's one fight deal, no strings attached. For Charlo to come over and make his biggest payday ever, get a chance to go back to PBC as a unified champion. And I haven't heard nothing from Jamal Charlo's side. It's silent over there. It's quiet over there. And I can't think of a reason why Jamal Charlo would not take this fight. He's saying he want to be great. He wants the Gennady Golovkins. He wants the Triple Gs. Well, you got to do something to entice these guys. You know what I mean? And if you go out there and you beat Demetrius Andrade and become a unified middleweight champion of the world, I think, Triple G will have to fight you. He's the IBF champion. I think Canelo Alvarez will be willing to fight you. Right now, Jamal Charlo is too dangerous for him. He's a young guy, undefeated champion, and those guys, they don't want to take that risk of fighting Jamal Charlo, for maybe not the most lucrative payday that they'll get. I know Gennady Golovkin probably would never fight Charlo. He's definitely on his way out. You know what I mean? And he wants to look for that one big payday one more time before he calls it quits, man. But we'll see, man. But listen, man, I just want to get on here real quick. I want to talk about the return of Mikey Garcia. I want to wish everybody a happy New Year's. This is my first video for 2020, man. Last year was my first full year of doing this video thing, man, and happy to say that I have hit over 2,000 subscribers within my first year. I'm real happy about that accomplishment, man, and I want to thank all my supporters for supporting me, those who come in and day out, man, and comment and like my videos and check them out. I really appreciate y'all, man. I'm gonna turn up the workforce in 2020, man. We're gonna make it greater, man. I'm trying to hit at least a nickel, at least 5,000 subs by the end of 2020, man. If I can go on beyond then, anything beyond 5,000 is just a bonus. But my goal for 2020 is to hit at least a nickel, man. At least, you know what I'm saying. I'm gonna be working, man. I'm gonna be going to these fights. I'm going to be covering these fighters and bringing y'all exclusive content, man. So just tune in. Big Faces Worldwide, we doing big things. You can go over to bigfacesworldwide.com and cop your gear, man. We got the we got the shirts, we got the hats, we got the mugs, you know what I'm saying? We got all your Big Faces Worldwide accessories, man. So if you want to support the channel in that way, man, go over to bigfacesworldwide.com and cop your gear, or you can contact me directly at bigfacesworldwide@gmail.com, and I'll hook you up, with some clothing and some Big Faces Worldwide things, man. But that's all I got, man. I appreciate y'all stepping through. Don't forget, man, hit that like button, man. Comment, share this video, And if you're new here, I want you to be here. So think about hitting that subscribe button as we stay knee deep into this boxing conversation, man. But in the meantime and in between time, stay blessed and keep on supporting the sport that we love called boxing. Peace. I'll holler back.